We've all heard someone say this before.
Oh, that's just a popcorn movie.
The fact is, most so-called popcorn movies demonstrate outstanding storytelling skills throughout their running times. In fact, there is much that novelists can learn by observing the principles at work in these seemingly effortless confections. Conventional wisdom suggests the best way to write a great novel is to read other great novels, which is true up to a point. However, the problem is, reading a masterpiece of fiction is like watching a classic magic trick. You know something amazing just happened, but you can't quite decipher how exactly it was pulled off. Sometimes it's easier to recognize and absorb storytelling tricks from a different medium, like filmmaking, and then adapt those ideas into your own writing process. Because while there are differences between novels and films, they also significantly overlap in the ways they engage audiences through compelling stories. In this short course, we will look at those overlaps to see how they can help you write your novel. You will recognize storytelling principles from popular and acclaimed films and television shows, adapt those cinematic techniques to improve your novel writing, and in so doing, create stronger stories, sharper dialogue, and more compelling emotional connections with your readers. These ideas, which I've termed popcorn principles, are gleaned from all phases of the filmmaking process: pre-production, production, post-production, and distribution. As you'll see, there is surprising overlap between creating and refining movies and books. So, who am I and what qualifies me to impart this information? Good question. I'm John Gaspard, a writer, filmmaker, and novelist. Over the years, I've made a handful of low-budget and ultra-low-budget movies that you can find today on many streaming services. Some have even won awards. I've also written several books on the filmmaking process, in which I've interviewed some of the biggest names in filmmaking. Directors and writers like Steven Soderbergh, Roger Corman, Amy Holden Jones, Susan Seidelman, George Romero, Jon Favreau, Amy Heckerling, Cassie Lemons, and Nicholas Meyer, along with Academy Award-nominated screenwriters like Dan Futterman, Whit Stillman, and Kenneth Lonergan, plus dozens and dozens of other filmmakers and screenwriters working in all genres and at all budget levels. On the fiction side, I've also written award-winning novels, including the 3-book Como Lake Players Mysteries and the 9-book Eli Marks Mystery Series. And I found that in writing those novels, I was continually using techniques I'd either learned from the interviews or discovered while writing and directing my own movies. The fact is, while some filmmaking principles were too technical for novel writing, many core storytelling concepts translated well, especially those from screenwriters. So I asked myself, what's my version of this? What are they doing that I can adapt to my situation? How can I put my own spin on their techniques to improve my story and its structure? This short course, based on the books in the Popcorn Principles series, delves into key storytelling concepts that are not cliches or tropes, but nuts and bolts ideas that are applicable across genres and media, and are designed to improve your storytelling process. So grab some popcorn, settle in, and get ready to take your novel writing to the next level through the cinematic storytelling lens of the Popcorn Principles.